Now in this video, we will going to work on this part, listing all the chats that the user have. And if there is no chat, we're gonna say none, okay? So quickly head over to our controller, and the very first thing that we have to do, if you guys remember, let me pull up the file. We have another file, chat list, where we are showing the chat list. So let me open that file. It's in the layout, and let's close this home.blade for now. This is the file that we have to work. Right now we have 3 chats, the static one. Now we're gonna get the chat of the user. We will gonna say chat, and we have to get the chats of the user who is logged in. So auth user and his all chats. And we also have to set the sorting, like order by and order by ID, descending, DSC in short, and get, and parse the chat here. Now head over to our chat list, and the very first thing that we will have to do is to set the if condition, because we have to check if there is any chat available or not, right? So if the chat array is greater than 0, which means we have a chat. Otherwise we will gonna say else, and in else we will gonna say, remember the class that we prepared for no chat record, so we will have to put it here now. Record text was center, and we were saying no chat exists, and we close the div and we close the if condition here. Now here we have to end the for each. We haven't yet created for each, but we are going to do it now. For each, and we will gonna loop through the chat. As you know, chats as single chat. And now we can remove all this, but let's just keep it for like 3 seconds, 3 minutes, not second. So first thing, we have to give a ID, because it will gonna give us a power to access each of the chat through the ID. So we will gonna say chat ID. We have group chat as well as single user chat, right? So for group chat, we will have like an image of a multiple users logo, and if it is one user, we will have just single one. So for that, we will have to have one if condition again, and we will gonna do the count. So let me just copy this one over here, and this time we are not going to count the chats, we are going to count the users. So if the user is more than 2, else use the same image, and if, and we have an image which is called default group jpg chat item users. Okay, so in here we have to show the user's name. So if it is like more user, like 1 or 2, we have to like make a, you know, like a string that, for instance, Ali comma Mark, so on and so on. Okay, so for that, let's use the PHP because we have to work on some conditions and some detailed stuff. So I'm gonna create a array, empty array here, and now I'm gonna do the for each for chat users, and I will gonna say you, and in our loop we're gonna check if auth id, which means my id, uh, we cannot actually use the auth here, so we will have to use the auth in here. So let's do this. Let's create a variable me is equals to auth and user, so it will give us a complete object of ourselves, whoever is logged in. Me, save it, come back over here, and now we can access like me id, and we can say if not equals to the id, the same condition that we used to get all the users except us. So we are doing the same thing, checking if this id is not our id, because our id is in every chat. So we have to make sure that we just skip our id because we do not want to do anything with that. And if that's the case, then simply do the same thing that we have just done like in last video. Just put the name in the UN of the user, and that's it. After that, we will gonna just UN is equals to implode function is to make the array into a string. So implode the array UN into a string with comma space, so it will become a nice string, and then we will echo it. But here's another condition. If we will gonna check string length, if the length of UN is say like 17, is bigger than 17, then substr, use the substr. What it do, it get the chunk of the string from where we start and where we end. So from 0 to 17, and also append it with dots. The user can see that the name is like a lengthier one. It's all for the user-friendly interface. Otherwise, just print the whole names. And new message count, we haven't completed that part yet. We're gonna cover this part when we will work on the message itself. Keep in mind that chat, a connection between user and chat, the messages itself will come under the different table. So there will be another table for messages for each chat. You're gonna see how it will gonna work. So for now, all I have to do is to remove these and save it, go back, refresh. Okay, and another error. Yeah, I'm really sleepy. I just put V instead of B, and that's caused the error. And another error, undefined constant IT. Aha, You see, keep doing a mistake. Okay, you see, that's what I was talking about. When we have like more than one user chat, it will gonna show this image, and if we have a single user, it will gonna show this. So we have right now this two chat. Let me create another chat with Mark. Successfully created the chat. Now you have noticed that this chat should be appear without refreshing, right? So we have to work on that as well. Don't worry about these labels, because when we will start working on the messages, it will be dynamic as well. It's for showing that how many unread messages you have. For the feature of showing the chat instantly here, we have to work on our Ajax function that we created in the previous video, and we will gonna trigger it here. We will gonna name it chat list, so it will update the chat list. Down here we will gonna create chat list function, and we will send the Ajax request to get the chat list of the user. So what I will gonna do, I will gonna copy this entire, and this will not be a post request, it will be a get request. Method would be get, and if method would be get, and if it is get, then we do not need variables parse. And the URL would be chat list. We will gonna create it, and let me delete all this. So first head to the web, copy this, paste it here, chat list, and the controller would be, you can guess, chat controller, because it is related to chat, and we will gonna say chat list, the same name for the function as well. Let me copy this, save here, and in here at the very bottom we will gonna create function. It would be a public function, chat list, don't have any argument, and the simple thing is the chat. And you know how to get the chat for the logged in user in Laravel. Because of the relationship model, we have this easy way to get all the chats of the user, and we will again gonna do order by the same thing, order by ID descending. Simple as that. Sorry, forgot to call the function get, which will gonna give us the chat. And I think we again need a me auth user. Let me just copy from here, and response status 1, response text is equals to string view. Now we are gonna return a view, so we can just replace the entire chat list with the view, so we do not have to get all the the HTML elements and so on. We will gonna parse all the HTML, and the view that we will gonna call is in the layout dot chat list. Blade, that we do not have to add it, and the same things that we actually did here, because in our chat list you can see we need chat and we need me, both of them. So because of that we are parsing chat and me both, compact chats and me. Save it and get back to our custom.js, and we have a condition same like the above one. If resp, which is response.status, is equals to 1, if it is 1, then simply do this. What we will gonna do, we will gonna just capture this. Hopefully it will have like some ID. Yes, it have chat list ID. Great. And we can say dot empty, make it empty, so the previous record or previous result will be deleted, and then append resp.txt, save it, go back here. But before going to do anything, I have to delete the record or maybe create another user. So better if I just delete the record, or you know what, let me go here and copy this, create a new user, mark, it will be 3, default, everything will be same, and the name would be John. Go. Now John is here. If I will refresh, and now if I will gonna create a chat with John, it will instantly pop up here, so you will gonna see if there will be no error. It didn't pop up, so something, okay, yeah, it's true, something wrong here. It is saying view layout. Okay, hold on. Okay, you see, it's a silly mistake, it was layout instead of layout. So I am pretty sure that the chat has already been created. Yeah, let me go over here and delete it, delete this one and both of them. Now if I will refresh, the John will be gone. Okay, great. So if I create the John again, there is no response, which is, I am curious, like, okay, we are not returning the JSON. So much confusion. I am really sorry about this. Let's create. And now you can see Marcus John instantly pop up here. That's exactly what we needed. But there's one thing, it's remove all the things from here. And we do not need that. So we will gonna have to find the inner body, which would be this. So that's the perfect thing. That's complete our task. Now we will gonna work on chat part, because when we click on it, it should appear here, the messages, all the messages, and we will be able to send the message from here as well. So that will be done in the next video. So take care for now. Bye bye.